Well guys, just as I thought the news was finally starting to come to a close, as we'd finally gotten a look at what seemed to be every single figure that was going to be in Jazzware's first series of Halo action figures, we, for some reason, have a leak of the second series already, which is crazy because the first figures, obviously, they're still coming out. They're not even on Amazon yet, and it's really strange that we have this alleged leak of the Series 2 figures. Obviously, we're going to go through all these figures. We have the 6.5-inch Spartan Collection line leaked, and the 3.75-inch 1/18th scale World of Halo line that was also leaked. Obviously, with all of these, please take them with a grain of salt. We don't know how accurate these are, but a lot of the leaked, especially Halo-like figure stuff that has been leaked in the past year, has all turned out to be very true, especially with all the figures that were in the first series that were leaked on GameStop like months and months ago. Those all turned out to obviously be true. And yeah, I will leave a link in the description to the Facebook post where these were originally leaked at, and once again, these are going to be leaked on Target's website, allegedly, and we'll get into some stuff about the release and how, like, true all this might be later since they're already in the system, and all that stuff. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the figures. Alright, so for the 6.5-inch Spartan collection, obviously for the first series we got Cat, the Mark 7 Spartan, the white Mark 5B Spartan from Halo Reach, and Master Chief. So for this second series, we are getting a wider variety, definitely, from different games that the figures are going to be coming from. Once again, these really have nothing to do exclusively with Halo Infinite. This is just a Spartan collection that's going through all of the Halo games, getting different Spartans, and only Spartans for right now, and putting them in the 6.5-inch scale. Starting off, we have a Mark 5 Spartan from Halo Infinite, which, obviously, the Mark 5 armor I think we could have all assumed was going to be in that game, but I guess this is official confirmation. Again, not the Mark 5B, but just the Mark 5, obviously Chief's original armor in Halo CE. It's been in a bunch of different Halo games, and personally for me, this is the armor that I wear in every Halo game, or at least the helmet, and I absolutely love the Mark 5. It's my favorite design, and to see that it apparently is going to be in Halo Infinite now, I guess, that's awesome. Not much to say. I just really love that helmet. So for me, this is one that I definitely maybe even buy like 2 figures of because I really enjoy it. Next, we have Spartan Jerome from Halo Wars 2. Not a huge surprise. Halo Wars 2 obviously is still somewhat recent. We did get a Mattel figure with it in their second series, and that's cool. I think a Mattel or a Spartan Jerome figure from Jazzwares is going to be really awesome. And again, some representation for Halo Wars 2 I think is very neat. Noble 6 from Halo Reach. I'm not too surprised by this, especially since they already did the white Mark 5B Spartan. That's the exact same helmet and armor as Noble 6. I think it's cool. Obviously a fan favorite character from a fan favorite game. Not a big surprise, super excited. Spartan Palmer from Halo 5. Again, it does say next to the Spartan Palmer one that this is from Halo 5, so this isn't official confirmation that she's in Halo Infinite or anything. But yeah, her Halo 5 design, which she was barely in that game really, and especially the way she looked in a lot of that game, her armor looked really off to me. Like in Halo 4, I really enjoyed how it looked, especially the scout design with kind of the silver paint it had. I think it looked really solid in-game. But then in a lot of the Halo 5 cutscenes and in-game, it just looked white and it looked like an action figure in-game, which was super weird. So I am really curious to see how they're going to pull off this figure. I really hope they go with more of the silver design from Halo 4, but obviously it says Halo 5, so we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, we have not gotten a Palmer figure in a very long time. I want to say since the original like McFarlane figure. I think that was the 3rd series of their Halo 4 wave, if I'm not mistaken, and then we got the Play Arts figure. But yeah, it's been a very long time since we've gotten a Palmer figure, so I think this is actually pretty cool. Again, not like the most interesting or like well received or beloved Halo character, but she has her place now and she is a part of this new story, so I'm not opposed to having a figure from her. And then we have a Mark 7 Spartan, again from Halo Infinite, just like we got with the first one. Not a big surprise, obviously, like I've talked about tons of times before, this is their big armor and helmet kind of that they're marketing and really pushing in Halo Infinite, so not a big surprise, really excited about that. And one that I cannot wait for, Emile from Halo Reach. We are going to get a figure in this 6.5-inch line, and I am incredibly excited because I've talked about it before, but I really enjoy this line so far. I love the size, I love the scale, and once they can get these quality control issues under control, I'm all here for it. I'm super excited. So for us to be getting an Emile figure, I can't even picture that. That's going to be awesome, and I'm super excited. I cannot wait, and I am pretty pleased with this selection. We have some representation from Halo 5, Halo Infinite, Halo Reach, and Halo Wars 2, which is awesome, and I'm just really impressed. So I cannot wait to see some actual things from these figures, some pictures, some prototypes at least, and I can't wait. Moving on to the 3.75-inch line, obviously this is once again their World of Halo line, that we have all the figures and all the vehicle sets are all on the same scale, and once again all of these are from Halo Infinite. This is not like a legacy thing like the Spartan Collection line, this is all Halo Infinite figures. Starting off we have a Jackal Raider, which, not surprising, another Jackal figure, not much to say. Next, we have a Mark V Spartan, which I also am super excited about because, once again, Mark V helmet I absolutely love, so that'll be cool. We have an Elite Warlord, which there's some kind of confusion about this because we don't know if this is going to be the same Elite Warlord figure that's being sold in the 3-pack multi-pack that we recently saw on Amazon Canada. We don't know if it's going to be that same figure or a different figure. Not much to say right now, but if it is the same one, then obviously you'll have 2 of them, and if it's a different one, then I assume it'll just be like a different paint or something. But it is interesting that we have an Elite Warlord here, and we have an Elite Warlord in that one multi-pack. Moving on, we have a Grunt Assault. Grunt figure, not much to say. We already have the one with the multi-pack, or the multiple multi-packs that we got with the first series. Again, not much to say. We have another Mark V Spartan, which is interesting, so we'll have to see. Again, the leaks are like kind of hard to tell with how many we're going to be getting like of each figure, but it seems like at least right now we may be getting 2 Mark V Spartans, but either way we know we're getting at least 1. They're also listed as a Halo Infinite Sentinel, which is very interesting because I guess this is confirmation that Sentinels are going to be in Halo Infinite in some way, which I'm sure that wasn't a big surprise, but yeah, we'll have to see how the Sentinels do. Obviously, when I think of the Sentinel figures, I think of one that McFarlane did with the Anniversary line, and it came with Guilty Spark, and they were like on a stand, and I thought that was pretty neat. So, again, that wasn't really an action figure, that was just like a kind of glorified little statue, but I'm really curious to see if they do this, and again, all these leaks could be completely fake, and especially this is like, how would they really do a Sentinel? Or again, does Sentinel have some sort of different meaning in Halo Infinite? Are the Sentinels going to be completely different? Are they going to be like the Bungie game ones? We'll just have to wait and see, but I think that's very interesting. And finally, we have Spartan Killer Hyperious, which is really interesting because when I first read this, I was like, Hyperious, where have I heard that? And I was like, oh yeah, that is the leaked character we got from the Mega Constructs way earlier last year, which was, if you guys don't remember, we got a leaked set of him, and he had what seemed to be Locke's helmet on his shoulders, so everyone was like, is this dude gonna kill Locke? And we still don't know how true that is, but again, Mega Constructs takes a lot of liberties with their sets and just kind of combining all different stuff, so I wouldn't take anything that's really in any of their sets or figures as definitive information about what's going to happen in the story of Halo Infinite. But for Hyperious, we do know, at least, or I guess we can assume, that he's going to be some sort of mini-boss or some sort of antagonist along with Jerome and assumingly Atriox in Halo Infinite. Obviously, we got Jerome with the reveal with the demo. I do think it's kind of weird that we haven't really seen anything of Hyperious yet, and yet he's in all this like marketing and stuff, but we've seen that one glimpse, and they're really kind of building up Jerome as being at least one of the bigger bads in the game, along with, obviously, I would assume Atriox, and we'll see how the created story goes along. But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting that Hyperious is listed on here, especially Spartan Killer Hyperious, which is pretty interesting, so we'll just have to see how that all pans out. So yeah, that is all pretty interesting. Obviously, we're getting a decent amount of banished figures and like other things that aren't just Spartans because they have the 6.5-inch line for that, but we are also getting a decent amount of other Spartans, so I think they're doing a good mix of all of them. And one more thing that's worth noting with this leak is that a display setup guide that came along with these leaks does say that a 3.75-inch scale ghost slot was also listed. This seems incredibly likely to me. It's not surprising at all. Obviously, we got the Mongoose and the Warthog with the first series in the same scale, so for us to finally get a Covenant, or I guess banished vehicle now, would be really cool, and I'm down for it. I think that's awesome, especially if it has the actual banished aesthetic that a lot of the vehicles seem like they will have in Halo Infinite. I'm super into that, and I can't wait. But yeah, guys, that's it for these leaks, and they are extremely interesting. Once again, I can't believe we even got any of these. When I saw this came up yesterday, I really couldn't believe it. I just thought that was super interesting. But yeah, especially these Spartan collection figures, I am incredibly interested in. Emile, Jerome, a Mark V Spartan from Halo Infinite. I'm ready for it. I think that'll be awesome. Again, I think everyone needs would not be opposed to a little break between these if they wait maybe until these figures actually come out with the launch of Halo Infinite now, since obviously these were supposed to come out with the original launch of the game, but then it got delayed and all that. Who knows when these are going to come out? And I do think it is interesting that these are already in the system for Target, because it seems like normally when that happens, it's not too long out from when they're actually going to be released. But again, I wouldn't hold your breath on these. This is just an interesting leak we got. I'm sure a lot of this will end up changing. The information will change. The figures might even change in the future. And it wouldn't really surprise me if we go the rest of this year, we don't hear anything, we just enjoy the Series 1 figures, and then maybe at Toy Fair next year, they reveal all the second series, and they reveal everything, and then they kind of release them around the release of Halo Infinite. That wouldn't surprise me. That seems somewhat likely. Again, we'll have to see when Halo Infinite comes out, if it comes out in spring or fall or whenever, but I do think that seems like the most likely thing. I wouldn't hold your breath on these figures for now. I think let's just be excited that we got this alleged leak. Let's talk about the figures down below. Tell me what you guys think about all these, and what do you think about the validity of these, and what do you think about these being the figures that Jazzwares has chosen to tackle for their next line. Thank you all for watching. Majestic Gaming.